Alright guys, welcome to the Federation Conversation, episode 12. It's your boy David, and Scotty's here too. Hi Scotty, how you doing?
David's live from what's the name of the... Should I not be telling you? Yeah.
It doesn't matter, fuck it, we're moving in 2 months.
Oh, so the move went through?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Look, I told the real estate that we're not going to be here in 2 months, so I guess we're moving. I don't know what that means.
This shit's going to be on the curb. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, hi Scotty, how you doing? We're on Skype because I'm a busy boy.
Yeah, we couldn't do an in-person podcast today. Listen, I put off the viewing of this episode for about a day, thinking, oh gee, I hope I didn't miss a good one. And it actually turns out that...
Scotty, you missed one of the best ones, and we'll get into that shortly. This is episode 13 of Discovery. It's called What's Past is Prologue.
I gotta tell you...
not related to episode 3 of Deep Space Nine.
If it weren't for the fact that we decided to podcast all of Star Trek, I would never watch Discovery again after today's episode.
Oh, you didn't like it?
Not a fan. No, not at all.
You didn't like this episode?
Oh, look,
I did. To be honest, I wouldn't have thought that about you, Scotty.
Oh,
I thought you would have loved this episode.
You thought I would have been all in for this, the concept? Yeah, well, it was on the fence.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole culmination of everything that's been happening in the series, and they did it so well.
It was so well executed as well.
So well executed.
With some of the finest dialogue.
Look. Okay, yeah, so I hated it too. Where do we jump in?
It's really difficult
to how
to
much
know.
We hate this episode.
I really wanted to find out, but I won't do it yet, but I wanted to quickly scroll through the Twitter thing and see what people are saying about it, because I'm dead curious now.
We can do that shortly, but we have to explain our own thoughts first.
We'll talk about how we feel first.
Our own raw thoughts.
Look.
About this episode of Federation Conversation. This episode of Star Trek. Before we start, last night I went and saw The Shape of Water with Doug Jones.
Oh, you've been talking that one up for a while. How was it?
It was pretty good. I mean, it's one of those things where, in a movie where the bad guy is just a little bit too evil.
Yeah,
It's just there's absolutely no redeeming qualities, and it feels like they're being evil just for, the movie.
Yeah.
It's like no normal person would be this evil.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I got from that film. The bad guy was a little too evil. But if you kind of ignore that...
Yeah.
Everything else about the film was really good.
So was Doug Jones the bad guy?
No, Doug Jones was not the bad guy. He was the water monster.
Oh. I was going to ask if he was the water.
The shape of water. I think it's hard to tell how much of a job he did. It's like the Andy Serkis thing. It's like, how much of that is actually him acting?
Animators...
It's always Andy Serkis doing the voice, but,
The animators, at least for Gollum, were all like, yeah, we had to go in afterwards and change a bunch of stuff.
Of course they did.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know what it's like now that they have, the cameras attached to their heads. You see what Lupita Bongo put herself through for Star Wars? Yeah,
like Benedict Cumberbatch being a dragon.
Oh, God.
I mean, I definitely... You could tell that it was Doug Jones, and he did... A lot of it was very practical effects. It wasn't all just 3D monster. So.
I really hate myself for buying a lot of the Benedict Cumberbatch bloody hype in 2010, because I watched the 3 episodes of Sherlock, and I thought, oh, yeah, this is pretty good. Turns out he can't act at all.
You don't like it?
You watch him playing Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness, and you watch him doing the behind the scenes for that stupid dragon. It's all the same thing. Hello, I'm moving my mouth.
Well, I mean,
garbage.
Scotty, if he's trying to be a dragon, of course he's emoting weirdly because he's being a dragon.
But
that's different to.
Yeah, but it's the same emoting weirdly that he did when he was Khan.
Yeah, well, okay, I've only watched.
In fact, and I haven't seen that Stephen Hawking movie, but I wouldn't put it past him to be doing the same thing in there too.
Shut up! It's Eddie Redmayne. Eddie Redmayne is a legitimately bad actor, though.
I don't. You know what? I saw a tiny bit of Jupiter Ascending the other night, and the 2 guys that were talking were just the most raging queers. And I was going to ask you, is that part of the story?
No, the fact that they're queers, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But him in Jupiter Ascending. You watched a little bit of Jupiter Ascending? I'm glad.
I had to eat dinner. I had to eat dinner in the same room that it was on. So.
Okay. Him in Jupiter Ascending is some of the worst acting I've ever seen. Almost as bad as Captain Emperor Giorgio in this episode of
Oh, can we talk a little about her as well?
Okay. So anyway, Shape of Water was good. Let's talk about Star Trek.
There was a scene where this bitch fucking Captain Georgiou. Okay.
You don't have to call her a bitch.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just hear me out for a minute. There's a scene where she's hiding somewhere on her flagship because her Imperial Guard has all been decimated. It's just her now, and she's hiding in one of the boardrooms. And Michael Burnham tracks her down, and she's like, "How did you find me in here?" And she says, and I quote, "My best make my lifestyle undetectable."
Sorry, what did you say?
I wrote it down verbatim.
Makes my lifestyle undetectable.
This is the phonetic description of what she says. "My breakfast makes my life sounds undetectable. Lorca seduced you too." I'm not making it up.
Yeah, okay, to be honest, up to this point,
Yeah.
I've been looking at her character and being like, well, you know, it's alright to have a little bit of an accent.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't make you a bad actress, although obviously I have a storied history of not liking foreign accents in films.
Yeah, look,
and TV.
Every new Star Wars movie, I think, pretty much is coming from a drubbing.
No, just Rogue One.
Rogue One. Oh, is it just Rogue One? Oh, okay.
Yeah, fucking Cassian Andor. He was the worst. I haven't watched that film since. And but this episode, for some reason, something clicked, and all of a sudden, she is the worst actress I've ever seen. And she can't talk. She can't use any words.
Isn't it weird?
Do you remember the bit where she said "emergency transport"?
I wrote that down. She sounds like a kid playing spaceships. Like there's no conviction. She's like, "Oh, emergency transport." It's like I mean, it didn't sound like she was saying it to anyone, or loud enough for the ship's Alexa to hear her. Like it was just kind of emergency transport.
Emergency transport.
Terrible.
I'm not impressed with her performance. I'm not impressed with a lot of performances in this episode.
I mean, let's talk about bloody Captain Lorca. Isn't it weird how his great acting just went down the tubes as soon as they said to him, "Listen, Jason, we need you to be evil in this episode." He's like, "Oh yeah, I can do that, easy."
The problem I have with Lorca is that his, like, unilaterally, he's completely evil now.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't mesh with everything that we've seen previously. Like, he was just acting nice that entire time.
Yeah.
It's just too different.
It is.
All of a sudden, he's completely evil.
This is the thing
before he was just a little bit, shady.
This is the thing that I said to you one or two podcasts ago. I said it's going to make the rest of the show before unwatchable because there's no way that for 12 episodes it was all consistent with them all being undercover, like that kind of thing, or Mirror of Universe. Like it just does not work.
I was fine with him being undercover if when it was revealed that he was evil, he wasn't comically evil.
Yeah,
and comically evil is a thing in the Mirror Universe, but it doesn't have to be that way. Like,
you know what rescued him being Mirror Lorca for me was something that Nancy said, and it's now completely out the window. It was the idea of him, instead of they're all being good people in a bad. Hang on, how did she word it? The point was, instead of being a bad guy who came to the good universe to fuck shit up, he was a good guy from the bad universe, and that was part of his plot, was to
to overthrow the Empress and kind of.
It made a lot more sense with
peace, justice, and security.
And instead, he's just this cartoon bad guy who runs around in a trench coat, speaking in complete. And I love a good cliche, but I mean, this was bad. Sorry.
Like, you want a little bit of depth to a character. And that's the thing. I'm going to go back to The Shape of Water. The bad guy is just so evil.
Yeah.
And all he talks about is the fact that it's America, and he should choose what he wants. He should be able to choose what he wants to do because he's a man. It's set in like the 60s or something.
Oh, okay.
So he's like this pure American bad guy, and he has to find the big fucking monster and kill it.
You're making him sound like the good guy.
No, but he's not. But anyway, that's just how I felt with this as well. It's just.
Honestly,
it's very convenient timing that I just saw this movie.
It's just kind of heartbreaking to me. The previous 12 episodes, I was really starting to like Captain Lorca. Like, he was the only interesting person on the ship.
I feel like it's just so wasted. It's such a wasted opportunity to have him just be completely evil and then dead.
And Why does he make TIE fighter sounds when he dies in the reactor?
Yeah, there was like a. I think the Netflix subtitle said "distorted shrieking."
Should have just said "fucking TIE fighter."
I think I was going through a tunnel on the train, so I didn't hear it properly. But
you thought it was the tunnel because the train always makes that sound.
Yeah. Yeah. So Lorca, I'm not impressed with. Giorgio, I'm not impressed with.
Deeply disappointed. I had a funny thought about Giorgio because now it's like they've captured evil. They've done to Giorgio what I wanted them to do with Lorca, and they've got this evil. They've got this evil person, brought him back to the good universe. Now it's going to be like one of these fish out of water comedies from the 80s. So they're constantly slapping Giorgio's hand and saying, "Don't kill anyone. No, stop trying to execute people. Stop."
Because I want to kill.
I love killing. It's what I do. No, let me.
And it's even worse. It's more 80s because obviously she's Chinese and she doesn't understand American culture. So they brought her to the big city.
Saru looks down and she's chewing on his elbow.
Yeah, this is Jungle to Jungle, but with an Asian woman. Instead of Brendan Fraser. Was it Brendan Fraser?
Jungle to Jungle. It was George of the Jungle. Jungle to Jungle? That's not a movie.
No, a Jungle to Jungle is a movie.
I don't think it is. This is some Berenstein Bear stuff. Jungle to...
I can look it up. Oh, okay, it's Tim Allen. Sorry, that's wrong.
Wait, is that a sequel?
Yeah, I think it is, actually.
Is that a reason
what was the first one?
The reason they put 2 in the title?
Wait, what was the first one?
I'm looking it up. It's an American remake.
Oh, no, it's not a sequel.
It's not a sequel.
It's just called Jungle to Jungle.
Could you imagine you're in a video library in the 90s and you're looking for the first film? You're like, oh, what was Jungle to Jungle a sequel to again? Oh, it was that jungle movie with those guys. Oh, if I look long enough, I'll find it.
Wait a minute. Sorry, I'm confused because I've not seen this film since I was like 10. Tim Allen is not the savage.
No,
Who is the savage?
He's the executive.
Oh, it's the kid. It's the kid who looks like 11 from Stranger Things. Have you seen a picture of this kid?
No.
It looks like 11.
Now I'm going to look up Jungle to Jungle again.
Anyway, stop talking about Jungle to Jungle.
Can I say this episode?
Star Trek. Yeah.
Can I say this episode did introduce a piece of not merch, but what should be merch that I like a lot better than the disco shirts. Above one of the doors, they have a "Long Live the Empire" sticker.
I saw that.
I'm like, yeah, I want those stickers above all my doors. It's like they got to remember. They got to remind people.
That just says "Long Live the Empire."
Is it just me, or was that kind of lazy set decoration? They're kind of like, what do we put on the door to make it look like the ship's equal?
Incredibly, like, I feel like I'm being unfair because the show's been so different up to this point. But I think this episode was just wildly different. I don't think it's me that's different. I think it's the episode.
I just feel really let down. I mean, I don't know. I could have defended most of the previous episodes on some basis. Even if I didn't entirely like them, there was something I could have said for them. Like, an episode that's boring and not much happened. It was just because they ran out of shit and it's leading up to something else. You know, it's a necessary filler episode.
Yeah, like the Sarek episode. You know, they have to...
Was that a filler one? I thought that was just a bad one.
Well, it's a bad one, but you know they have to fill out the relationship between the two. You know,
to be honest, I couldn't have rehabilitated that one much. And
I don't think we liked it. We didn't like it at all.
I don't know. I'm just saying. At least, no, I don't. To me, viscerally, on a gut level, this is the worst episode. Just so stupid. It just throws away so much. I don't want to say potential, but kind of, you know, directions they could have taken it in that would have been more interesting, and they kind of just went, no, Lorca's evil and he's dead now. It's like...
More things I don't like was... I know Trek does, you know, technobabble quite a bit.
Yeah.
But the amount of it in this episode, and this kind of pure, just out-there-ness of it.
Yeah.
Like, and the way they basically tried to explain everything like it was just, you know, okay, this is how everything is. It's very simple, you know. The ship is being run by a giant mycelial
the ball
black hole or something, and then they're figuring out how to blow it up, and it's like, let's just put more spores in it and it'll blow it up, and then they're explaining how that'll kill them all, and
I've got problems.
All of the technobabble in this episode was just infuriating. I don't know why.
I've got 2 or 3 problems, but I think I'll forget at least one of them if I try and get them out. But here goes. My problem with the technobabble was they practically rammed 2 briefings into one. There's the how do we get home Star Trek technobabble and the how do we blow up the Death Star technobabble, and they ramrodded it into one big ensemble. Second, are these spores a live, intelligent sort of living network or not? And if so, why are they loading them into thermoses and using them as torpedoes?
I think they've just decided not to ask that. They especially haven't asked the spores themselves because they don't want an answer.
I mean, are the spores kind of fatalistic about their own existence? They're kind of like, oh, don't worry, we'll sacrifice a few billion of ourselves just to restore peace and harmony. Like, what is what is the deal? Is it a network?
They're the threads of life itself, but they're not intelligent.
And like I say, I've probably forgotten the oh yeah, and in that technobabble briefing, Tilly's like, oh, I just ran the numbers, and by the way, we won't live if we try this. It's
just stuff like that. It's just
so clumsy.
How are you finding these answers so quickly? And like they really needed to get all these answers out very quickly to get these scenes done.
Yeah,
and it just feels so unnatural. Everything that they're saying and everything that's happening. Another thing that really annoyed me, I just remembered while you were talking, is that if they don't blow up this machine, everything dies in every universe.
Oh, that really made me mad.
I fucking hate that.
It's like because all life in the every universe dies stakes is what I called it. The stakes. They tried to raise the stakes and it's just shit. It's like
way too much. If you make the stakes every living thing in every universe, all of a sudden I don't care anymore. It's like the Marvel movies, or it's like the superhero movies where, or any movie, any movie where the world is just gonna die. Like, fucking, what's his name? Tom Hardy's gonna come to Earth in his big Romulan ship, his big Remus ship, and just kill every single person.
Well, they've tried that.
It's like, I don't care. It's too much. I don't care anymore.
Weren't the last 3 Star Trek movies either about blowing up Earth or blowing up some... Like, they tried the same thing virtually every time.
Yes, the Doomsday Machine comes to Earth, whether it's Eric Banner or fucking Benedict Cumberbatch or Tom Hardy. I just don't care. The stakes cannot be that high because all of a sudden I don't care anymore. It's too hard to care about that.
Couldn't they have just said, if we don't stop the ship, she's going to kill all the rest of the Kelpians? I mean, I might have felt something then.
She's going to eat the rest of the Kelpians. They're using that to cook them. It could have just been if we don't blow this up, the link to the mycelial network from this universe is gone or something.
Yeah.
So we can't get back into the mycelial network.
Look, I'm not saying I could suggest stakes that would matter to an audience any more or less.
I just did.
No. All I'm saying is I'm not going to say what they should be, but I am saying that these ones suck.
I'm saying what they should be, and it should have been something like that instead of if they don't complete their mission, everything in every universe ever is going to perish. It's just...
David, I've got one for you. How come the Mirror Universe shock troopers aren't all running around with sunglasses on? If these people are all light sensitive, how the fuck is this stormtrooper battle in the corridor? Which is the worst thing I've ever seen, by the way. Pew, 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 fucking laser tag in the Mirror Universe, and they're all totally happy. Every room in the ship has a bright window out to the mycelial sunball, and they're all firing lasers, and nobody's blinking.
And then they throw a flashbang.
Flash grenade!
Oh, my tired eyes! It's even worse!
Although, I did like one thing about the laser fight. They had the shields from Out of This World.
I know, I was going to mention that. Damn it!
Got him, guys!
Oh, yeah, I was going to mention that. They had the shields that you put up, and then they could...
You have to flinch like I'm punching you now. Got him. How great was that?
Yeah, I like that bit. That was cool. That was cool. Measuring the shield. It's it's gonna go no. But
not the. Oh, there's a shot. There's a shot of Michelle Yeoh, staggering out of the throne room with her gun to take matters into her own hands. She looks like she can barely walk. She's like, I'm going to go deal with this rebellion myself. She's
she's holding the weepon up to her face or something, isn't she?
It might be that. I think in that scene, they should have had the song Venus playing. Just because it was just so dumb.
Okay, so another point I want to make.
Yeah. By all means.
Do you remember a recent film? You might have seen it, you might not have. Where there was a throne room scene, and it was a really epic choreographed fight.
There have been a couple of candidates
throne room scenes are classics within cinema. It's basically a trope now, but it's a great one. I don't care if it.
Unashamedly, no, I get off on them very much.
So the one in Last Jedi was really good.
Yeah.
This throne room scene where they're fighting. The choreography in this show is so bad.
Was it not the worst fight scene we've got that Indian who's been brought back from death, and she's fighting... Who's she fighting? Michael Burnham?
She's fighting Michael Burnham.
And Giorgio is fighting Captain Lorca.
Yeah. It just felt so stunted, and like every shot where something happened, it felt like they had a list of things that they wanted to happen. So like, okay, we need Michael Burnham to like swing over your head and then kick you, and then so they do these like little set pieces, and then they like walk to another part of the set and then do the next one. It's like they had like a whole list of things. You want to
know some of the thoughts that
it just doesn't float at all.
Two things came to mind. One, they looked like they were barely hitting each other. Like
that too.
Second, you could very easily edit this into the Star Trek Discovery fight scene for 10 hours and it would just look exactly the same. Like, it felt like I was watching that. Because I had to skip around because somebody distracted me when I was trying to watch the episode. And I skipped back and forward a couple of times and realised it doesn't matter where I fucking land. I was like, I want to find the right spot. And I couldn't fight. It was all the same. It was just shit fighting. It was the worst. It was the worst. And it's Star Trek.
Is it that hard? Look, I want to re-upload it and put the Gorn fight music on it.
I mean, like, Star Trek has historically been about funny fight scenes, but this wasn't funny. This was you could see it was so earnest and so trying to be very good, and it was just kind of dumb.
The way Michael Burnham had like a sock on the end of a stick or something. What did she have? She had a.
I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
I don't know. She had something. It looked like a fucking pool noodle the way she was hitting people with it.
It's like in Braveheart where they have the rubber axes.
And Michelle Yeoh is just kind of stumbling around with a knife.
Oh, I wanted to ask.
Just from one person to the next, just kind of going, stab you, and I'll walk over here and I'll stab you.
Well, she's had a lot of practice. She's the Empress. What I wanted to ask was that shot where she lifts her leg up, is that real? Or did they computer put the leg up?
A big rubber leg or something.
And I have a trouble believing that 20-year-old Michelle Yeoh could do that. Now that she's 60, I don't think it's happening. I'm going to admit that I didn't see the shot very well because I'm looking at it on my phone. I'm standing up on the train looking at it on my phone. Can I tell you, David, it didn't hold up to 720. It did not hold up. It was not good.
It looked like just a rubber or like a stuffed foot.
Wouldn't it be so funny if that's how they did it? They just gave her a...
It just felt like a parody of... Hello? It just felt like a parody of a fight scene.
It was just... What bugged me about that epic fight scene, it was the second time that Michael Burnham started up a scene in the throne room by just taking everybody on. It happened earlier in the episode where she fights away out of the throne room, which is so epic.
I hate that too.
It's just so fucking annoying. It doesn't. It's not.
I noticed that too. If your plan starts with you in a room full of people with guns, and you just take one down and then shoot the other one and then escape without getting shot.
Yeah, she skids into the sewers. Captain, she's escaped into the sewer system. Find her. Send your best men. It's like, what the fuck, really?
Like, if you're a Jedi or something, that's cool.
Or Flash Gordon.
If you're Obi-Wan Kenobi and you jump down in front of General Grievous and say hello there, that's cool. Yeah. But you're Michael Burnham. You're Sonequa Green Martin.
Yeah, and you already have a reputation for getting away with way too much. Yeah. I mean,
this makes me mad about everything else that I said about this series because I said everything makes more sense when you realize that Lorca brought her there. Yeah. So it's not just random chance that she happens to be surviving everything because he's basically orchestrating everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she goes and fucking dodges a million bullets.
Do you want to know, David? We know why I'm upset.
She goes down a vent, right?
Yeah.
It's the size of a person. And bullets are chasing her down the vent. She can't get away from those bullets, and somehow she doesn't get shot.
Do you want to know why I'm hurt so much? It's because we spent the last however many weeks sticking up for this fucking show, saying it's not that bad, it's better than the Orville, and then they go and put this on our fucking doorstep. I'm angry.
Some good parts though. Doug Jones is alright.
I did like Doug Jones when he took over.
I love Doug Jones in anything he does.
When he took over the ship, he's like, he screams fire, and he's like, let's go, let's go, people. It's very good captain speak. It's very difficult for me to have anything against Saru.
I just think
he's a great actor. I did kind of get annoyed that Tilly took this all as an excuse to not wear her Hooters outfit anymore, like, and start wearing her hair up again. Kind of annoying.
She had it all zipped down, right? She had a Discovery uniform, but it was
because it's so hot in the Mirror Universe.
That's another thing.
Yeah,
that's different biologically between our two races.
It's so dumb. Oh, we're all light sensitive. I'm sorry. I'm still mad at that being one of the markers of Mirror people. There was a bass drop in the fucking throne room fight scene. I forgot about that, but yeah, I put that in the notes.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
There was a bass drop in slow motion.
I think from this, Scotty, we can determine the formula for a good episode of Discovery.
Yeah.
You know what that formula is?
No.
The less Shazad Latif you have, the worse the episode is going to be.
Wow.
And he did not appear a single time in this episode. He was nowhere.
He didn't. The whole time he was in sickbay.
You didn't even see him line in sickbay. He was not in the episode. And that's why it's so shit.
That's what we call a bottle show.
That's not why it's so shit. There are so many reasons why
there's so much wrong with it.
It didn't even have the redeeming quality of having Shazad Latif in it.
What makes me mad about Lorca is that, like, I never really thought anything about that actor before, because as far as I've known, he was only been in shit movies anyway. And then he was in this, and I started liking him and stuff, and now they've just, completely taken it for granted and just sort of said, here's the twist, he's bad! And then they threw him into the reactor. Like, what do you I mean, I don't even know what half of his lines were. They were clear, cliched bad guy speech. Let's have a look.
We'll make the Empire glorious again.
I hated the whole thing between Giorgio and Lorca. Like, it's so hard to explain as well.
Hey, David, let's get you geared up. That's the only one I wrote down. I must have really hated it.
When was that?
At the start, he's gearing up his soldiers that he's freeing from the torture machines. Yeah.
What's her name? What's the Landry?
The dumb Indian, yeah.
Commander Landry. Oh, she's not a dumb Indian. I mean...
Sorry.
In terms of... so, the Landry that got killed earlier on, she was just the normal Landry. She was just really dumb. Because she wasn't even the evil Landry. She was just a normal person from the normal universe.
Yeah, she was just...
And somehow Lorca made her into a complete dimwit. And the most evil person in the entire show so far.
I can't back it up because I can't make myself watch the first 10 episodes, but I really don't think they're going to hold up to the premise that he's a mirror guy. I don't think they... Sorry. There were some clever aspects to the trickery, but not enough.
I think it would have been fine if at the end he just wasn't the most evil person that's ever lived.
That would have been so much more interesting. I can't stress that.
Completely evil and no redeeming qualities at all. He just goes and kills Mira Stamets as well. I was defending the twists as well in this series. Yeah, there were twists, and it's like, oh, this has all been, it's been setting itself up over the course of the thing. There has now been a twist, I think, every for the last 5 episodes, I think there was a twist every episode. Yeah. And this twist was, well, it's not really a twist, it's more just like a
surprise.
Oh, no, now this is happening. They're back in the normal universe, and it's been 9 months, and the Klingons are everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't...
Are they ever just going to have like a...
I must have misheard that. I thought it said, this is normal Federation space, but it's leprechauns. The Irish have taken over the galaxy.
I don't think that's what it was.
Wasn't it? Oh, I have to revise my notes.
I was watching the subtitles. I think it said Klingons.
Captain, if my senses are correct, we're in the leprechaun. Sorry. Yeah, no. I mean, it's a development, maybe not a twist.
It's not a twist, but it's just a thing that, like, can we relax a bit?
Well, it's a relentless show. They're not going to let you relax. They're pushing you to the end.
Bit too much. Because, it's like, now they're in the universe. There's Klingons everywhere, and they have Michelle Yeoh on the ship, and she's evil.
It's not a completely unrealistic twist, but then again, it's kind of... Would they really lose the war with this many ships?
Well, they were on pace for losing the war. I'm not fussed about that.
Oh, okay. It's an old Star Trek trope.
Yeah, I mean, they were on the way to losing the war, and they needed the cloak stuff that Discovery had
Yeah.
to win the war.
Oh yeah, hang on a
But,
minute. The tech that they were trying to steal from somewhere, did they get it in the end?
The tech they were trying to steal?
Oh, there was like
So that's the thing.
There was a floppy disk. Somebody had a floppy disk that was really important. I can't remember what it was on it.
No, I know what you're talking about.
I know.
The whole reason that Michael Burnham went to the Mirror Discovery, was that the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Mirror Discovery. The whole reason she went there was to get the information on the Defiant and bring it back to Saru.
Oh shit!
And then what they found out from that was that everything was redacted, so they didn't have any information. So it was actually pretty pointless.
I think actually, yeah, it was all tied up in that scene where Georgia was like, "Oh, it's just useless. They all went mad in the attempt or some shit."
Well, that too. Yeah, that too.
Like-
Because okay, no. First off, they took. Everything seems so stupid now.
It's a dumb show. I hate Discovery.
Michael Burnham puts the floppy disk on Ash, and when teleports it into space, then he teleports it back, and that's got the information on the Defiant on it.
Yeah.
But the Defiant information is redacted, so they don't know where to go to get back to the anomaly, right?
Yeah.
Like where it happened. So then they go to don't enter the throne room. Then they go to the palace to talk to get more information because they need to find the Defiant and they need to find out where that anomaly happened.
Yeah.
And then Michelle Yeoh says, "Oh, they all went mad. You can't do it." And then, yeah. So
then Stamets, because he wakes up, is like, "Oh no, we can just take the spores back. I know how to do it." But by the end, I mean, yeah, that was the way they came back.
Yes,
was the spores.
And
fuck this nonsense.
I don't mind him as an actor. I think he's doing a fine job with what he's being given. But
it's not great.
He can't. He's in the machine, and all of a sudden, I don't think this is the case before. All of a sudden, they're on the bridge looking through the view screen, and they can see all the mycelial network.
Yeah, I don't remember them being able to do that
before. Wasn't it just a thing that instantly happened before?
Yeah. I guess he had to try every possible.
And then he's having trouble finding his way through, and then he remembers back
to his
what his gay boyfriend said.
To his gay boyfriend.
Follow the music, and then he sees the clearing in the forest, and he says, "Thank you, Paul." No, thank you. What's his name?
His Colbert.
Yeah, but what's his first name?
He hasn't got one.
No, he does. He said it.
His first name is Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. Yeah, that's what he said. And then all of a sudden, you can find his way. It's like, oh, fuck you, fuck you, show.
Yeah,
this is the worst shit I've ever seen.
It's horrendous, and I don't really. I didn't take much from the next week on Discovery segment. I think I saw Sarek, and some more Michelle Yeoh. I can't even say her name, but yeah. Look, I have tried to be patient, Discovery, but this is not. I mean, what's going to happen now? Is Burnham the captain, or is she going to take orders from Saru, or is she going to spend the next season giving him shit? You can't always fight your way out of the throne room, Burnham. It's got to stop sometime.
Right from the very start,
yeah.
When they said this is going to be an anthology show, so like every season was going to be a different ship and crew and stuff.
I wish.
I hated that idea immediately at the start, and especially as the show went on, I was like, oh no, I don't want to get rid of all these nice characters that we got going on.
Yeah.
I want to see Ash Tyler. I want to see Lorca.
You want to see where this goes. Yeah.
I want to see Saru. I want to see them all next season.
Yeah.
I don't want only 2 more episodes. I would actually be fine with the new show.
Honestly,
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, are they sticking with that idea? I can't imagine they will.
No, I don't think they are because
Black Twitter wouldn't let them get rid of Shaniqua Martin Green. Sorry, I'm not trying to, but like.
Oh no, it's just that people like the characters too much.
I mean, I even would have given her a second chance, but Jesus, what a development!
Oh yeah, all of a sudden she's fucking.
Come on, you can't.
I mean, she was.
You can't kung fu your way through the throne room twice in one lifetime. That's a once in a lifetime. That's the Hail Mary. That's the clutch goal in the game. No.
God, that throne room scene was so bad.
So shit. It was so stupid.
I'm having such a hard time. I mean, I think we've put it into pretty good words, but there's still something I just have to scream. Like,
I'm just looking down. Okay. I'm scrolling down Twitter now. having a little look. Gizmodo didn't like it. Oh, this guy gave it 8 out of 10 stars. Oh no. People are saying it's beautiful. Paves the way for female Klingons. What is this?
What? Nothing happened.
How? It must be an old article. There's a picture of Laurel and it says, yeah. Oh, this is garbage.
That's an old article, obviously.
Must be.
All the top voted comments that I can see liked it. I think it is a bit divided. I saw a few comments in the news section that kind of said it's fair not to like this episode.
To me, it
Honestly,
really is.
This is the worst episode of the show. It might be one of the worst episodes of No, it's not one of the worst episodes of Star Trek, but
It's just that it's not Star Trek. They tried the weird Star Wars blow up the Death Star thing. They turned the most interesting character on the show into a cardboard cutout villain. Which is really Star Trek's biggest problem since it hasn't been a TV show, is that every movie that's come out has just had a ridiculous villain that had no purpose. Like...
Yep.
And then they've just gone and done that again.
I mean, you can say First Contact was... I don't know, it's the Borg. They're always,
Well, First Contact was kind of
unilaterally evil.
An action movie, but it worked. I don't know.
I'm just talking about the villains,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So, the Borg Queen, she's just meant to be evil. That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. She does what she does. But every other TNG movie at least had a shitty villain.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Generations did. Insurrection did. Nemesis did.
Not as much as I hate to shit on Malcolm McDowell.
Well, he's a shit. Why was he... I'm going to enjoy getting to these movies. It's just going to be us going,
Yeah.
Why is Malcolm McDowell doing this thing? Why is he standing up on the thing? And why does it take only 8 seconds for the rocket to reach the sun?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems with Generations. I can't wait to get into that with you.
I love that shot, by the way.
Right on target! Which one?
Right on target!
Right on target!
He watches the rocket go up into the sun, and it's like maybe 300 meters in the air, and then the sun explodes. It's like, oh shit.
Well, yeah.
God.
Not great. I mean, yeah, I don't know. How many more episodes have we got? Nancy came in and asked us that before.
2 more episodes, I think. So, they'll have to win the war.
They've got 2 episodes to turn the war around. I mean, they've got Stamets now. And he's got nothing to live for. His boyfriend's dead.
Like how easy it was for him to just... he's back. He's been in a coma for the past...
Here's the thing.
5 episodes.
I was so annoyed by the last episode that I forgot that he woke up from the coma. So I was watching this one and I was like, oh yeah, there was that weird bit at the end of the episode where both the Stametses woke up and I wasn't sure if he'd like body swapped. I kind of thought, ooh, another twist.
Did we talk about that?
We didn't talk. I forgot to talk about that, but I was kind of confused.
I'm not sure if we talked about that, but
I was confused by the
way it was really
scene.
badly edited.
Yeah.
I really hated that particular sequence because...
It made it look like he body swapped.
It made it look like he body swapped. It was looking right into his fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Into normal Stamets' eyes, and then he wakes up on the... You see him wake up on the mirror ship,
yeah.
And then he goes... The only thing that makes it make sense is that he says, he did it. He did it. I didn't even realize that at first. And then it ominously pans across to the mirror plaque that says, it's the mirror ship. It's like, oh no, he woke up on the mirror ship. Yeah. But no, it's just badly edited.
BS. I mean, that's the thing. This show has been... we're so used to the show fucking with us every week that now we're seeing twists where there aren't any.
Yeah.
And also, Stamets got phasered tonight in front of the giant pit. Very good. Very, very classic. And very exciting stuff. I love watching Stamets get phasered.
You like watching him get phased? Kill the gays.
Yeah, bury them all.
Oh, bury the gays. Sorry.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to think of what I...
Oh, I did have one suggestion. I actually respect Jason Isaacs playing Lorca up till now, before this episode. But for Mirror Lorca, I think my original choice of John Hamm would have been better. Baby!
Baby.
Yeah, just a thought.
I did like him in Baby Driver. I think him being, like, evil is funny.
Hopefully somebody can use this fake app that they're doing to make all the fake porn and put John Hamm into the role of Mirror Lorca. How great is this technology?
I think they need people that look relatively similar. Yeah. Because, like, you showed me that GIF of Patrick Stewart's face on top of J.K. Simmons' head.
J.K. Rowling. It does not work. His ears are too big. Yeah, he looks like Dumbledore.
Yeah, like, you can see the Patrick Stewart parts, but it doesn't really work.
Thing is, I was watching Lorca with the red evil light on him, and he kind of looked like John Hamm in some of those shots. I reckon it could work. I reckon I don't even need fake app. I could probably just do it in Photoshop.
You want to do it?
Yeah. I'll knock that together. I'll whip it up.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
I think everyone will love it because John, everyone just loves stuff with John Hamm in it.
I do. I was watching a bit of an incredible Mercedes commercial the other day. It was pretty funny.
Mercedes. Did it have John Hamm in it?
The automobile as only Mercedes-Benz can envision it.
Have you seen the Black Mirror episode with John Hamm in it yet?
No. Is it more Callisto? I love that one.
No.
Damn! He wakes up. He doesn't die.
He doesn't die, and he has to go and find who did it, even though it's completely obvious. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're not really talking about this, so
Yeah.
That's such a bad idea. I hope they never touch that.
Oh, the Callisto. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched Orville yet. I'm not any more tempted to watch it after this.
Oh my god.
Episode.
I am not watching Orville.
I know you.
You would have to come to me with some drastic indication that the actors were all better and that it was a completely different show with a different tone before I'd even give it a chance. Because it's not like I'm just hating it because of Seth MacFarlane. I watched Neil deGrasse Cosmos, which is apparently produced by that guy. So, I'm willing to give him a go in some capacity. But if he just turns out shit television, I'm sorry.
Did you watch the entire of Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson?
It took me a while. I only watched a couple episodes and laughed at them. Because I
watched about 10 minutes of the first episode and I got bored.
He was like, New York City. I just wanted to be a scientist. Just wanted to be an astronaut when I grew up. Or whatever. And but then eventually I watched the whole show and it was alright.
Can you advise me on whether or not my camera has moved within the past hour?
Not without watching the previous footage. I just want to say...
I feel like it has, because I was in the middle of it before and my headphones were blocking the light, and now I'm not. But,
I think maybe it just moved subtly. About Neil deGrasse Tyson, I have to tell you that as much as I used to think he was alright, it was one of the happiest experiences of my life unfollowing his Twitter.
Yes.
Here's the thing. From a worldview perspective, he might not be all that different from Carl Sagan, and he might have a lot of wise ideas about things, but I have to believe that Carl Sagan wouldn't sit around on Twitter all day explaining to people why the supermoon isn't particularly special. Like, way to take the magic out of things, you fucking fraud. I just don't like him.
I really don't like him because
he
has this thing where like he's trying to make, or I don't know if he's even trying to make science more accessible because he's doing a shit job.
Exactly.
When he does stuff like that, he's like, he's just a fucking asshole.
he just is. He's like, oh, did you know you could save a certain amount of time flying east to west? Because it's like, stop it with the bullshit and just be more like Carl.
Or like that one where he's talking about. A leap year is misnamed because we're actually not leaping anywhere. We're just advancing in time a little bit. And it's like...
Uppercut!
That was a fucking leap? We're advancing a little bit. We're leaping forward.
He should take a leap.
It's just... He's being pedantic just for the sake of it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Because he has nothing else to talk about.
Exactly. And it's a shame because I was on board when he was all like, Apophis.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's been a while since he's been... respected.
Since he's been that good. Since he was at the level of Apophis. Now he's kind of...
I heard a lot of stories about him just being an asshole as well. Just to people.
There is the rape story.
The rape story?
In the... with that voice. In the 80s, he apparently diddled someone.
Diddled? I
mean, they're all allegations, aren't they? At the end of the day, but still.
They're all alligators.
Honestly, I don't hold that against him because I've got, no evidence, but just on his basic personality, yeah, I've gone off him. So, sorry guys, Neil deGrasse Tyson is off the menu.
I went off him ages ago.
The only way he could get me back now is by doing that Flea Market Montgomery cover.
You want him to do that?
Yeah, I do.
We got some email.
Check your email.
Oh, we got an email? Who from?
Yeah, we got an email from Jessica Franklin. It says, "Dear the Federation Conversation, hi." This is Jessica Franklin from Multi-Group Grow Team. While going through some videos, came across your video, which has great potential and should reach to maximum peoples.
Oh, good.
So I think we're set now.
So we should be joining a network or something? Is that what she's saying?
Yeah, I think we're getting picked up by Machinima.
Oh, yes! All right. Oh, I got an email too, actually. It was that one that says at the end of...
the video that she linked to that had potential was my status report where I was standing in front of a train talking.
She likes trains.
She likes trains.
We're with the chance.
We're in.
No, I got that email from YouTube saying in February you're not going to be a partner anymore. I got it on Zabonka, but I didn't get it on Buried in 12, so we're still in there. Holding it by the skin of our teeth.
You must make at least $60 every 3 months.
Yeah, I know. Right? Oh, jeez. Anyway. So, I haven't got any more to say about Discovery this week, other than it was a huge disappointment, and I don't know how it's going to turn around next week.
I'm trying. Was there the graphics were all right when
they kind of look blurry and shitty a few times.
I don't know. I like the shot where they're escaping at warp from the explosion, and then like the ship starts the spore drive. It's like,
the only actually, to be quite honest,
that's low praise. I don't give a shit.
The only graphics that I noticed in this was that when they're in the transporter room, it looks like it's a blue screen, and it's like, why do you need to blue screen a transporter room? It's 8 feet across. I mean, fuck! I could build one.
Insurrection all over again.
I could build a transporter pad there in my room if I wanted to. And
do we have definitive proof, or like, is there a definitive story that says that at the end of Insurrection they just forgot to blue screen the
I don't know. It's my headcanon. I like to believe that.
It has to be true though. There's no explanation other than that.
You know, is it Santa Claus real? You know, we all want to believe, but
they forgot to put the space in the background because obviously they're in space. That's where the array was. It was in space, right?
Is there any part of the collector that looks that color? Maybe. Just looks like a fucking antenna in space. Yeah, it just looks like a tower.
Yeah, so I think they were there were windows that were meant to be like space.
Insurrection collector. Let's have a look at this. This is going to be a collector's edition of the DVD. No, I'm looking at it. It's just a giant. It's Count Dooku's ship. It's a solar sail. What the fuck?
Star Trek Insurrection green screen error.
This piece of shit. Oh, I want to send it to you, but I can't.
Was the collector scene in Insurrection an unfinished effect? Let me have a look at Trek BBS. I was watching Insurrection tonight and found the scenes on board the collector near the end of the film to look like an unfinished blue screen effect. Oh, they just threw an ad up in my face. I have disabled my ad blocker, thank you. Initially, it was a blue screen and the intention was to matte in effects in post. During post, either because of budgetary reasons or because someone liked it, they decided to keep the blue screens.
Hey! We're solving all the big mysteries tonight.
What is of interest in this case is that you look at the shots from making of Insurrection, the collector set utilized green screen at the bottom. Why put blue screen around the sides if you have green screen at the bottom? No reason whatsoever. So the blue was an artistic choice. Oh, okay.
Oh man, you want to know what's an unfinished visual effect? Is actually Count Dooku on the speeder.
I think most of Attack of the Clones was unfinished.
Some of the shots in that are really bad. There's like a hangar bay that Count Dooku leaves from, and it's just blurry and crap.
To be honest, I've not watched the sequels recently.
The prequels.
I said prequels or sequels?
You said sequels.
Yeah. That's alright, I haven't watched them recently either.
You've been hanging out on sequel memes too much. Oh, I love this Kylo Ren stuff.
Yeah, to be honest, I think, look, prequel memes was the master of the memes for quite a while.
Yeah.
They were really killing it.
Yeah.
I honestly think as soon as The Last Jedi came out, sequel memes surpassed them because they're running out of material over prequel memes. I'm going to say it.
They are. Well, there's so much to work with the new films.
They have the numbers, but they don't have, you know, they're losing a little bit in the quality.
They don't have Adam Driver.
It's starting to turn into comedy cemetery over there. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've said everything I want to say about the show. How do you feel, David?
I feel like there's something off the top, like something right at the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. It's going to be like something you remember next time. Like, there was something I forgot to talk about last. Yeah, the Stamets swap. That wasn't a swap. I forgot to talk about that last time.
Yeah, so I guess that was the worst episode of Discovery.
Discovery is going down bad and will not be renewed.
Well, it's already been renewed.
For a third season. I don't know. Fuck it. Okay.
It's because the episode 13 of the first season was so bad that we decided not to renew season 3.
How funny. They just withdraw the renewal of season 2. They're like, guys, we put a lot of faith in you.
I didn't realize you could be this bad. I don't know. They should have escaped the mirror universe maybe an episode or two earlier.
Just that conclusion is just not one I'm happy with. But, you know, I don't want it to be sour grapes. Oh, they threw out my favourite actor. Oh, you know.
I did like when she said, when Michael Burnham, when she said, you could have just told us and we would have tried to help you get home.
Yeah. And look, hey, there's little rare moments that make sense. But then following that 10 seconds later with, we wouldn't have killed you. I wouldn't. But I would. Chop.
I'm not going to kill you. It's not the Federation way. I will kill you. Ah!
Cuts open his carapace with that fucking sword, throws him down and throws him into the hole because we were denied seeing that with Stamets.
Yes. Because he doesn't like poetry. I thought he loved poetry. He loves the fortune. What about the fortune cookies? What
was that all about?
Is that just because he was close to Michelle Yeoh in the mirror universe?
Yeah, he worked for her family, so he manufactured fortune cookies. And are these mirror fortune cookies? If Burnham had ever taken the chance to just open one up and read it, would she have read, like, evil fortunes? Like, stomp on your enemies' throats in the night and...
Yeah, maybe.
Never wander outside without your sunglasses, for it is dark. It is the
I think it's just like a along the theme of fate, you know, and destiny and things like that.
Fuck me. Bad show.
Alright, my housemate's just come home, so I guess it's a good time to stop.
Yeah, I gotta go eat dinner anyway.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
We're gonna do another episode next week. Yeah,
send us those network invitations to David's email. It's all working very well.
Yeah, invite me to new to new social networks and partnerships, and give me all the cash. Anyone want sponsors? You know, I could pimp these wafer sticks.
Moneta.
Moneta. It's a good taste.
You can give a moneta. Mañana.
And they're also a good camera stand. And now I have to hold my camera because I moved the wafers. Anyway, thanks guys.
Yeah.
Catch you later.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
My bracelet makes my life signs undetectable.
You want to go to the land of Lego.